Alright, I just wanted to make a quick update because I'm here right now in the center of Santiago where all the chaos is going on, and I went to 2 protests in a row, one day after the other, each day getting more intense. I definitely felt the tear gas more and more. It actually really sucked, man. My throat started like, and my nose. This is the life, yeah. My eyes were fucking burning and shit. And I was basically in the front lines, man, and just so much collective rage, man, and suffering, and like, fuck you piece of shit cops, I hope you fucking die, fucking this, blah, 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 blah. And I understand from both sides, man, because there have been some atrocious acts from certain carabineros, which are the Chilean cops. It's horrifying. I'm not even going to say it here, but if you want to go do your research, but it's fucking crazy navigating through this collective nightmare of a bad trip, especially after my amazing, majestic, loving experience of serenity and tribe, community, and trust. Here it's like the opposite. I mean, yeah, there's community, but like polarizing, you know? You're either on one side or you're against it, kind of thing, you know? And it was fucking scary, man. Really scary seeing like just this whole country getting absolutely destroyed, man. It's sad because I come here all the time and I don't see the situation getting any better. But I think this is good, especially after having this majestic, peaceful experience of love and surrounding. Yeah, of course I had experiences of tremendous darkness, but overall it was just full of love, light, knowledge, wisdom, etc., etc. And I guess this is sort of like a hard mode integration level where, I mean, like, you know, it's easy to integrate when you're just meditating in a temple or sitting in the mountains or aligning your chakras and eating clean and all that kind of stuff. And all of this is important, don't get me wrong, and I'm not telling you guys to do what I'm doing here, but I think it's important for me to get, I don't know, a nice big dose of reality before I go home. And by reality, well, this, man. Yeah, the chaos and turmoil that's happening in South America, you know, the anarchic revolution, if you want to call it that. But man, me and Felipe were just at the Plaza de Armas, which is the center of all this chaos in Santiago, which is basically the center of all the chaos in all of Chile, right? It's the capital city, makes sense. And that's that. It's not even that crazy compared to like on a weekend or even before this, just a couple months ago, you know? It was like extremely dangerous. Even now it's dangerous, but man, I can't even imagine some people live in these conditions, you know. It's definitely very humbling and balancing and grounding to step into this collective chaos, you know, this collective nightmare we call a bad trip, except that it's not a psychedelic drug that just dissipates and then I'm back to reality now. It's like, nah, this is the reality. And you know, I'm not even here to tell you guys what to do. I don't know, I've only been here 4 days, 5 days, so I need some time to let my thoughts marinate. And like with anything, there's always 2 sides to every story, but man, this is insane. I almost got tear gas today. So even though I didn't get like, you know, direct contact with the gas, you can feel it in your nose. That's what it was. I think I had it yesterday, man. It's like pepper.
Yeah.
It's like I snorted a line of chili or some shit.
Pretty much. Horrible.
Oh shit. Oh shit, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Oh shit. close one. The shit that I do for you guys. And I'm talking to Felipe and it's like, are you happy, Tom? Huh? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? And I'm thinking, yeah, actually, yeah, it was. I got some really, really cool footage. And I know it's not just about the footage, and I know I'm laughing, but at the same time, it's like, what am I gonna do? Fucking cry in a corner about all this chaos and let this negativity lower my vibration? Fuck that shit, man. Seriously. And I know that not everyone's ready for this, but I kind of feel like a lot of my psychedelic experiences have trained me for this moment, because this is the real spiritual work, guys. For me, at least, at this stage of my life, it's not, you know, life isn't just about meditating and aligning your chakras and memorizing Alan Watts and preaching to first world hippies to go vegan, you know. It's much deeper than that. The human experience is a polarizing one. It just is. And you can either, you know, just stay on one extreme end of the pole, or you can understand both sides and kind of stay centered. But like I said before, not in a limbo, fence sitting, not doing anything kind of way. That's actually a form. It's the first layer of hell if you really want to go into it. But when I say centered and grounded, it's just really integrating both of those sides and understanding it, you know. And then that way, like myself now, which I'm like fucking mind blown about this, is that I'm able to gracefully navigate through this collective nightmare and, yeah, feel empathy, feel the pain of the collective suffering, but allow my roots to be planted in the ground, you know, because I've been through so many layers of hell that I can withstand the storm. And I have that inner power, that inner light, and I know myself, and I just have that deep knowing that I'm protected. And not in a naive hippie, like, nothing's gonna happen to me, but like, nah, I'm good. I can handle myself. I understand. Feeling the pain of others, but not allowing it to bring me down, you know, sort of like acknowledging it, honoring it, integrating it, and then moving on, and then using that, the power of mental transmutation to transform it into a creative expression, you know. And in many ways, that's what my YouTube channel is about, isn't it? I've lived in the underworld for a very long time. I've been through horrifically dark trips that the vast majority of people would never understand. And this is not everyone's journey. This is just my own personal thing, you know. The whole theme of my life has been polarity, but very extreme forms of it. And now, as I'm getting older and understanding my past experiences, it's like, yeah, of course. It's like, you know, it's like a superhero's origin story. You know, you go through all this shit, you go through the trenches. Why me? Fuck this, what the hell? But then you realize eventually, if you allow it to, that's all a gift, it's all a blessing. It's training you for what's to come ahead. And this is just the beginning. But I'm very, very, very grateful. Extremely grateful to have this privilege, man. To be in the trenches with my brothers and sisters, you know.
Al frente si vienen los pagos de por ahí. Si vienen piquetes caminando por ahí, mira.
¿A dónde?
Vienen a patas, mira.
Ah, ¿en serio?
Ahí, mira. Allá está.
Ya lo veo. Sí. Okay. So the cops, they're coming from that way and that way. So, and rumors has it that they're going up there. So we're gonna go there. That's the escape route. Let's do this. Oh fuck, what else can you do but laugh? But at the same time, like, listen, I know that the risks that I'm getting myself into. So if I get tear gassed or if I get hit in the head with a rock or something, really it's my fault, because I'm very well aware of the seriousness of this situation and how on edge people are. And there's a lot of rage, man, a lot of rage and resentment that has been bubbling up for decades now, you know. Like, one of the reasons, probably the reason I live in Australia is because of the whole dictatorship with Pinochet and, you know, my parents' generation, or my mum's generation. Escaped, went to Australia, met my dad, and then I popped. Here I am. What's going on? And a lot of these people, they don't know how to deal with this level of rage, so just fuck you cops, you piece of shit. I hope you all die. And it's seriously that extreme, man. You should see the graffitis everywhere. Blood for blood. We will get vengeance. Bastard cops. All coppers are bastards. Yeah, dude, this is absolutely surreal because I came here like 1 year ago and the place, Chile was like thriving, man, at least in South American standards. That's why it's a lot more Colombians are moving in, and like Argentinians, Venezuelans, Haitians. Now look at it, man. It's fucking really, really sad. You know, I've talked to, Jesus, man, all sorts of characters. From anarchists, like 13-year-old anarchists who are lighting fires on the street, to cops, to Uber drivers, middle-aged people like my family, from both sides of the political spectrum. And so far I've only spoken to one person, which is one of my best mates, Felipe, who's actually neutral. And not on a fence-sitting limbo type of way, but understanding both sides deeply and not just emotionally reacting when they talk about this stuff. But I understand the emotional reaction as well, so I'm not even saying that as a negative thing. I think it's important to express your emotions, even if it is polarized, as long as you are aware of this, you know.
I've seen people that want like the military out on the streets because they are done with this shit. The people that, for example, have to leave their houses and see and watch every day this supermarket burn.
Right.
You know,
watching their country crumble, man.
Yeah, and
Sad.
they by this image they can remember every day the anxiety and the fear that they felt when this happened. Like people die, like burn into the supermarkets.
All right. Jesus. Oh, fuck. Was the video worth it, Tom? Was it? Yes.
There's an issue I have though with just, it's not the everyday person who's watching this, it's more the spiritual teachers who basically just ignore real shit because it's too negative and it lowers their vibration. But don't fall into this toxic positivity trap, man. I mean, of course there's a balance of not being too overly consumed by the negativity, but don't ignore it completely, because if you don't acknowledge the shadow, it is going to backlash. And even if you think, like right now I'm in Chile, you think that this doesn't affect you. Guys, we're all one, remember? And that includes pain and suffering, and the evil, and all these destructive acts. So yeah, this does affect you. And I'm not even here to scare you guys, but I'm just saying, just be careful of the spiritual gurus that you're listening to, who sound wise, and they speak in a calm voice, and they avoid negativity because they're positive. But then when reality grabs the sledgehammer and smashes their fucking reality, what are they going to do then? They will crumble completely, and they won't be able to handle that stuff because they're not accustomed to really dealing with the darkness in a real way. You get what I'm saying? This is pseudo-spirituality, man, preached by cowards who disguise themselves as spiritual teachers. And I've met a lot of them, guys. And of course, on this channel, I'm never going to gossip or talk shit about a person, because that's basically character assassination, and that's not cool. Gossip is one of the most demonic, toxic things you can possibly do. However, it's important to criticize the action behind those characters, or maybe even just attack a certain archetypes themselves. And of course, if it gets to a really extreme situation and it's my moral obligation to call someone out, I will do so. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to talk shit, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to show you guys the videos, man. It's been absolutely insane. Okay. I may have pushed it a little bit because fucking hell, that was a close one, man. All the cops started to kind of trap us, and shit's fucked, man. If I fell or if I took one misstep, I would have gone fucked up, dude. So, alright, I think that's it for me. Hey, nos vemos. Ciao. It was a close one, man. I was like front lines, all the cops were coming with a shield, narrowing in, And then they started running. I'm like, oh shit! And I just had to run, and they were flanking us, and it was fucking insanity. And again, I'm sorry for my swearing, but it's this environment that I'm in. It's very erratic. That's why every morning and every night I completely counterbalance this chaos by just listening to the hippiest of musics, journaling. I love myself. Like seriously, it's really hippie. Positive affirmations like that, but it's good to reprogram my brain and not let this again influence my subconscious in a negative way. Wolf, this is more getting slapped in the face with a massive dose of reality so that I can go home with a more balanced and grounded perspective instead of just going home floating on air. And actually, you know what, even after all these psychedelic experiences, I mean, yeah, of course, I was like, whoa, just processing, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being ungrounded in the clouds, but eventually you're going to have to come down to earth, right? And I'm really good at that now, especially because of this previous spiritual traps that I'm falling into in the past. So I'm like, just more aware of it, I guess. And always like, no matter how profound of an experience I have, I'm always focused in this human plane, because when we die, we're gonna go there anyway. We're here for a reason. We've got a purpose. We've got shit to do, man. That's at least how I interpret it, and this philosophy has worked wonders for me. So you can interpret it as you will. There we go. Mucho más mejor. I can totally understand why some people do this stuff, though. It's fucking exhilarating, but yeah, I didn't want to I didn't throw any rocks at cops. I didn't do anything. I was just there as an observer. But I can totally understand why some people would do this. So how you guys been doing anyway? Pretty crazy way of integrating that I've chosen, huh? Don't do this, guys. I just want to stress that this is not a recommendation which I would give to everybody. To spiritual teachers, yes. That's a whole different story. Because if you're just cowering away, meditating in the mountains while aligning your chakras and chanting mantras and memorizing Alan Watts and just parroting that and passing it off as your own wisdom, but you're really completely inauthentic and ingenuous, then yeah, go out there in the real world and experience some real shit and go into the trenches with your brothers and sisters. It's your obligation, especially if you have the goal to call yourself a spiritual teacher, right? That's why I don't call myself a spiritual teacher. I'm your mate. I'm your mate Tom. I'm your brother. I'm here with you. I'm not above you or below you. I'm with you. And it's my obligation to experience the extreme polarities of life in a certain way, so that way I can truly have a balanced perspective. You know, because there are some people who are just in limbo and confuse that as being centered and balanced. And again, there's always a balance with everything, and it depends what stage you're at, what blah 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 blah. But I'm just trying to give you guys a different perspective on how being too peaceful, especially when you're young, again, when I'm old, that's when I'm gonna just move into the mountains in some cabin and just be like this all day, every day, because I fulfilled my purpose and I did what I needed to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm not just here just to be in the chaos. It's more to seriously give love and support, and more importantly, even try to understand what's going on here. Not even just politically, but just from a human perspective, because I can see a lot of visceral reactivity, so much rage and repression that's been built up over generations, man. And like I said before, this is an important lesson that the whole world can learn right now. So I'm not going to get political. I'm just going to stay, you know, the human experience, like on a spiritual level, what this all means. I'm not going to go through it here. I'm just through it here. I said through like a bloody cockney. I went through the sentinel, right? And yeah, just wanted to give an update. I'll keep making these videos and learn more, explore more, but I'm taking care of myself. So thank you for all those guys who've been sending me messages on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram at yourmatetom3 if you want to keep up to date with all this stuff. And yeah, I appreciate all the messages of, you know, be safe, Tom. And I am being safe. I'm being smart about it. I'm being a little bit dumb about it at the same time because of the situations that I've put myself in. But ultimately, I trust myself. I trust the universe. I trust whatever you want to call this, God, source, and I am smart about it, and I just deep down I know I'm protected, so it's all good. Don't have to worry about me. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.
Inform yourself, read without passion, just with more reason. Stop watching social media. Start to listen to people that are not polarized by politics. I don't care if they're with the system or against the system. I care if they have knowledge,
Right, and reason.
and reason. And reason.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, cunt.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to show some love to my mate Jason Stevenson, who does awesome free guided meditations, which is a really easy, simple tool to just calm your mind, you know, especially after a stressful day, or maybe you've had a bad trip or an extremely chaotic one such as myself recently. And this is especially useful if you listen to guided meditations just before you go to sleep, or even as you wake up, as this is when your subconscious mind is the most susceptible to absorbing information. So shout out to Jason. Go listen to his beautiful, smooth Australian voice, which will lullaby your mind into a calm state. Unlike mine. But anyways, the whole point of this video, guys, wasn't about psychedelic bad trips per se, but as it states in Hermeticism, as above so below, as within so without, everything has to do with everything, and that includes the physical dimension, which is the direct reflection of the higher laws or the higher planes of existence. So I think this is an important reality to pay close attention to. Well, firstly, because we're in it, but secondly, like I just stated, it reflects the bigger picture. And I've had personal bad trips, many of them, and the ones where I violently opposed were the ones that didn't end well for me, you know? As the saying goes, what resists, persists. And when you just don't allow the experience to teach you, and you just viscerally react to it, all it does is viciously feeds this cycle, and until it just amplifies and gets worse and worse and worse. And this is what I've been seeing in Chile, you know, and not just in Chile, but everywhere around the world. So I think it may be useful to instead learn to not surrender to the darkness where you just allow it to walk all over you, of course not, but just to learn how to adapt and use the power of mental transmutation to transform dark experiences into positive ones. And of course, this is easier said than done, but this is definitely a better direction to go to than just violently attacking. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents, guys. That's all I have to say. No other wisdom, but I just, yeah, sending you guys all the love and light, and I wish you guys all the best. And if you resonate with this content or my channel in general, and you want to support it in a tangible way, then I would ask you to please consider checking out Patreon and becoming a monthly patron there, and you can have access to early content, and you directly support future documentaries and, you know, more of these conscious, thought-provoking pieces of content. I hope anyway. And if not, it's all good. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Much love, guys. Peace out.